Here we port a P73 B18c TypeR Intake Manifold. We take you on to the steps on how we get it all consistent. And this is gonna be really good for the DIY guys because we're gonna talk about my Makita grinder, about Carbide and the sanding rolls, all the details that we can do and the step by step to get to this point. Even the start, the way we chop the manifold before we get to start. And yes, here freshly cut plenum. As you can see, the debris still there. Yes, we make the initial stages here with a carbide. So like I said, it's step by step, and we talk about my Makita grinder. Yes, my carbide, the straight shaft carbide and the other shaped carbide here. And yes, and of course the sanding roll that everyone asked about. Here it is. Yep. So let's go. Yeah. Alright, first things first, here's our new page. I had to make a new one because when my personal Facebook got hacked, I lost control of the old page. Here we got the prices of head porting, engine rebuild labor, cam degree, even intake manifold porting. Everything is there. And yes, we constantly post there some stuff that doesn't make the channel here, doesn't make a content. Like here, we upgraded the cam for the customer. We had to play test it to be sure. And of course here, the most important one, I posted the cam etchings for the Skunk 2 cams. So for people buying a second-hand cam, here's the old etching of a Skunk 2 Tuner 2 is HOA and 8, and then the new marking is letter J. And for Pro 2 is P2 or P2 and P2V, and the new one is already says there the marking is letter M. So that's the etching. So when you're gonna buy a second-hand cam, this is their way to make it sure. Yes. So link in the description. And if you don't have Facebook, we got our Instagram here. I constantly update it too for the shop. Yes, you can see here. So both links will be in the description below. Check it out. Follow. Of course, supporting the page is gonna be big deal for me. Yeah, and for entertainment, we got our TikTok is quite active, as you can see here. We got a couple of 700,000 views videos, so you know that's pretty decent. People actually enjoy watching it because everything is quicker and it's short form, so it's mostly on time lapse. So you can see all the projects that we do there. Yep. So all three links will be in the description below. All right. Yeah. So let's go. This is actually Nico's intake manifold. Nico owns the B16 B2 liter that we built and the B20 VTEC for his SIR, and he has a B18c TypeR, so he decided to have us port the intake manifold and keep it like a stock B18c TypeR, so it's pretty good. Here we scribe the line. So I was gonna make a small V here, but I realized getting it straight like that is gonna be easier. So we started off with the hand saw. So once we get it started with a cut on the hand saw, then we use an air saw. It's gonna be easier. Because of course when you start with the air saw, it sometimes just flips or shakes. So we gotta do the initial cut first by hand and then with the air saw. Yep, and here it is, the freshly cut plenum. As you can see, the debris is still there. We just sawed it off. It's all ready. Yep. Now here, let's start. We're gonna start with a carbide first to get the shaping going. All right. Here. So you can see we start from the side just to make sure all the there's a lot of core shift initially here. So we use a carbide. It's gonna take too long if we go straight to the 80 grit. So we go into carbide first. Initially, the first 2 inches of the runner. This way we're gonna infuse a bit more taper. It's gonna be improving good. Yep, here it is. All right, now initially let me show you guys before we get to continue. Here it is. As you can see, the freshly cut carbide. Yep, I mean freshly cut by the carbide. All right, so we can continue because after we get a few passes of the 80 grit and the carbide is gonna be a lot different. And a quick favor, guys, hit the like button because the more likes the video get, the more activity it shows to the algorithm. It gets spread out to wider audience. It helps me and the channel big time. So I really do appreciate that, guys. All right, so hit the like button, guys. All right, yeah. And like, of course, if you haven't, you gotta subscribe because we have over 300 videos here, so you can watch it on your own free time when you're subscribed. Because whenever you log in, you're gonna check it out. So yep, I'll see you guys. Okay, yep. It's gonna be so cool. And for the hardcore, we got the hardcore members here. Yes, we have over 30 of ultra technical videos of all, including dyno tuning and actually ECU tuning. Link will be in the description below to join the channel members. All right, it's gonna be here in YouTube too, so join the channel members. All right, yeah. And so here we are after a few more passes on the carbide. As you can see, there's more debris. Now we can go straight to 80 grit for now, all right? So here it is, 80 grit. Trying to get the shaping good because you gotta see it smooth enough on the 80 grit to see even more if there's more bumps or ridges, because on the carbide alone it's gonna be hard to see it because they're actually, you know, textured rough. So when you get to 80 grit, there are points where it makes us want to go back to the carbide just to smooth it out, because on the 80 grit it showed us there's bumps and ridges, so we go back and forth sometimes. But here you can see it's 80 grit. Now okay, a few more passes. Now it's getting cleaner and cleaner, right? Still far from how we want it, but yep, this is the steps that we do. Yes, and of course we continue some more. Now here we go with the carbide again, because we can see now, and we're starting with the opening in here. Make sure it's flaring out good. Let's show you closer. Yes, freshly cut by the carbide. Now here we put it on the vise to invert it, because someone said it's not that hard to get the angle. Yeah, sure, it's not that hard to get the angle, but look at it. You know, it's kind of not that pleasant. But hey, if all you guys like seeing it this way, we're gonna do it like this, no problem with us. See, my worry is like that my hand covers like that, so you know. But here it is, you know. Okay, now we go back. Let me show you here. Before we go back to the porting bench, see, now we got the roof side or the top side of the entry. Now we go back here to the porting bench. Yes, all right, let's clip it here. Now if you make a few more passes, because we went with the 80 grit, we can see how the shape goes. So now we know we can make some more passes with the carbide to get the shaping good. So here we are. First we went to the carbide, then 80 grit. Now we went back to the carbide to get the taper that we want. And it's about 2 inches into the runner, or 2 inches deep to the runner. All right, that's good. And then of course we go back to 80 grit before we go with the 120. Here it is. Okay, now the flaring is starting there. It's starting to look good, right? Yep. Now we keep going with this. Make a few more passes. Yes, with the 80 grit. Yes, and here make a few more passes with a. Oh, you can see the lower part of the runner entry. We started with the 80 grit, but we're gonna continue with the top side too. But initially we just did the bottom of the entry just to show you guys. So we gotta continue cleaning it up all around the entry and around the runner, the initial entry of the runner. Here it is, a few more passes, and we did it. The first inch of the runner entry, as you can see, we stopped there, but you can see the texture finish is starting to get good, right? But this is just 80 grit. It's because we spray it with some ethyl alcohol and soapy water mix, and we're gonna talk about that a little later. So yep, we'll make a few more passes here. As you can see, now it's a lot cleaner, but this is still 80 grit. It's just the changes how it looks. The more passes you make on the 80 grit, the smoother it gets, the more consistent. And yes, so now let's talk about our tools, our Makita grinder. All right, let's go. Here it is. Yep, I've owned this since about, like, let's say 2012 or 2011. This is a Makita GD0601. So there's a newer model. It's a bit lighter, but I kind of like this one. It's heavier, so it hurts your shoulders, but the stability is just really good. So you can check that out on eBay. And this is the carbide that I have. It's cylindrical, it's straight. I use it for the intake runners sometimes, and you know there are times that it's very useful. But the most that I use most of the time is this, the tree-shaped carbide. So yes, and of course, like I said, I bought this around 2011. So even though I bought it on eBay, it's kind of hard to check it out or to find it. But yep. So for the sanding roll, what I did is got a blank drill that's not yet cut, and I cut it like 6 inches, and I used this, like this is 80 grit emery cloth. I cut strips to it, rolled it on the tip of the shaft, and just use masking tape. This is why I always have that masking tape at the tip of the sanding roll. Here it is. You can see 120 grit. The 80 grit is almost finished, so I gotta order some new ones. So basically, that's it. That's the cartridge roll I do. But if you're just gonna do one cylinder head, might as well get the usual stuff like the standard abrasives sanding roll, because this is gonna be like too much work. And as mentioned, here's the ultra technical videos on the members only. Here we can see it. We show you how to make the consistency, even the runner opening. We scribe lines there. We have a video there, ultra detailed. So yep, check it out. Yes. Now here's the spray that we were talking about. It's 50% ethyl alcohol and 50% dishwashing soap. So we adjust the mix, but since it's still summer, it's still hot here, so it's 50-50 because it doesn't dry up too fast. So now here's 120 grit. Now it's more important to start spraying the lube on the 120 grit. This way you don't finish up the grit right away, and still consistently do some good carving. As you can see here, look at the finish, good and clean, right? That's because it's not just the 120 grit, it includes the spray lube that we have mixed, so it's really helpful. Yes, we'll make a few more passes here. You can see, and you can start to see more bumps that you did not see on the 80 grit. So this is really important. Yep. And you will notice later, after a few more passes more than once on the 120 grit, the finish is starting to get nicer and nicer, and we didn't even change grit. We just stuck to 120 grit. But of course, the ethyl alcohol soapy water lube helps a lot. And here, let me show you close. This is the first pass on the 120 grit. Looks really good now, right? Yep. So now we're gonna do the more on the flare entry, and the rest of the runners is gonna be really, really good. We're gonna make a few more passes and show you guys the difference. We're staying with the same 120 grit, and here it is. Look at this. I made another pass, and you can see the difference is really, really drastic, right? And that's just 120 grit and the spray lube. It looks really, really good and clean. It's not like, inconsistent with the colorings and all the texture. So you make a few more passes like this, get it all finished up. And yes, for consistency, see, you get to check out the members only video here. Yup, we got all that in here, even the type R. Yes, and of course, on the end screen here, we have the Ultra Street Intake Manifold. You click it here